to you by Phelps Game Calls, professional grade game calls made for every hunter.
If you're trying to get close with elk, turkey, predators, or waterfowl, Phelps has you covered.
That's right. So go to phelpsgamecalls.com. Get them close.
Is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording, man.
Oh, nice.
Boom. My little arrow here. But first things first, thank you everybody for joining us. This is the Ridgeline Hunting podcast, and I am your host, David Crane, and I'm with Mike Peterson, another podcast. Here we go.
Yeah, another one in. Second one at the house.
Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking Mike Peterson's house might just end up being the new studio, but it's an awesome environment here. It's nice. It's quiet, and we are set up in your living room.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool. And I don't know why I still have this in my hand, but
It's your wand.
yeah.
The hunting wand.
This podcast, we're actually going to be talking about the Northwest Mountain Challenge.
Yeah. That we just finished 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. I think it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know what? It's been 3 weeks because I've actually worked the 2 weekends back to back.
Something, because I went back to the lodge that I stayed at with my family the week after. And then no week then. Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, so it's been 3 weeks removed, but we had an awesome time, man. And I don't think there's a time that we've gone out where we haven't had fun. So if you haven't gone to a Northwest Mountain Challenge, I definitely recommend going out there. It's a lot of fun. They're in Idaho. The first leg is in Idaho, second one's in Oregon, and then the last one is in Washington State, and that's the one that we're going to talk about, Stevens Pass.
Yep.
So day one, we have we planned this out kind of after you got back from Hoodoo.
Yeah.
On like what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So day one.
You couldn't make Hoodoo because you would have had a fishing trip that got canceled on you at the last second.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go sturgeon fishing. It ended up not happening. Just a conflict of dates and everything and time. And it was too late for me to pack everything up and head over to Hoodoo. I would have basically been getting there Saturday in the AM, like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and having like 5 hours of sleep then.
Yeah.
Starting it.
So just decided I would just not do Hoodoo, even though Hoodoo was a part of the plan, but then the fishing trip thing came up and it didn't have, it was a thing. It sucked. But I do still plan on going sturgeon fishing at some point, with my buddy, Rich Eaton. He's an awesome guy. It's just sometimes, things happen, and it happened. Didn't end up at Hoodoo. But after that, you guys ended up not shooting the pure elevation in Hoodoo.
Yeah, because we were planning on doing pure elevation in Stevens, and I don't want to do 2 pure elevations in one year.
The pure elevations are awesome. They're intense, but they do wipe you out. Kind of. I mean, I would say during the shoot, but we'll get into that. So day one, we did pure elevation was our very first course. 9 a.m. we start heading up the mountain.
Yep.
And I would say the worst thing about the whole pure elevation was just getting to shot number 1.
Yeah. I'll say getting to shot number 1 and in between 4 and 5 of hiking up going straight up on that side of the tree line. I think that was between 4 and 5.
Going to the skunk one?
Yeah, going to the skunk one, just going like straight up that tree line.
Yeah, so I would agree. So shot number 1 was like almost all of the elevation all in one thing, going to shot number 1. And then you kind of zigzag your way up, and then it puts you in this tree line and some timber. and then you're kind of like zigzagging up through the timber, but it's like super steep.
Oh yeah. It's like almost, it's not steep enough for like hands and feet, but it was pretty close to doing that.
Yeah. I would say in a couple spots, there was some hands with one hand down, like some feet with one hand down.
Got that 3-point stance.
Yeah. Going up the hill a little bit. And then at the skunk shot, it was like a bottleneck. I don't know why, but there was like tons of people at this target. And there was nowhere to stand, and everybody's kind of like leaning up against trees or like doing something because the incline of where the stake was and where everybody had to stop was like, I don't.
It's like in a little cubby hole, and people had to like sit off to the side because you can only shoot there because that was the only shot to the skunk.
Yeah, and it was just like like all the way around it is just nothing but just trees and bushes and stuff. So it's just like there's nowhere to go. So everybody's just, it seemed like everybody's like breathing in each other's ears. Just like, gosh, dang it.
But I think people didn't really care because it was more of a break from climbing.
Oh,
sit there and just talk
everybody's
with a few people.
BSing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And during this shoot, so not only is it kind of grueling like on the legs and everything else, but it really does like tests. Like, have you been practicing in the off season?
Yeah.
And it's not just like, I can shoot, 80 to 100 yards or whatever. It's, can you shoot almost straight up and down, like vertically, or like you're shooting up, like almost straight up and like straight down.
Did we get a straight, like,
we didn't
really steep?
No, we didn't get any of those types, but
we sort of had like a 45-degree one, but not like
straight down.
Yeah,
not like
looking at your feet.
Yeah, didn't have any of those ones. Which I think Hoodoo had a couple of them.
Yeah, it had that one really cool one that was like, was it 11 yards? But it was 11 yards shooting, but it wasn't. It was like 30 yards distance.
Yeah, and it was like a laying down deer or something like that.
Yeah, or something. I don't know what it was.
That one was cool. Actually, look at our 2022 Hoodoo, and that is in that video. I'll actually put it somewhere. It might be somewhere over here. It'll pop up.
And if you don't line up that skunk shot right, instead of just pulling back while looking up at it.
Oh yeah, Mike, go ahead and explain that, because I was trying to explain so some guys were shooting in front of us, and I noticed that they weren't shooting the target how it's actually supposed to be shot. So go ahead and explain to everybody what that actually means.
The guys in front of us were pulling back while looking up at the actual target. Well, if you do that, your shoulders are off camber. They're kind of like this. So we pull back and you move your hips and it keeps your shoulders straight, so you won't have that weird, I don't know, it's a weird shot. It kind of like messes up your eye and how you release, because the way that your shoulders are will move your release point.
Yeah,
like up and down.
So it's basically your knocking point.
Yeah.
So when you are looking at the target, so basically they're aiming at the target and then pulling the bow back, and the target, it doesn't matter if it's up super high or down really low. If you do that, your shot's going to be off because your anchor point is going to change. So either it's going to be like, some people have it, wherever your anchor point is, it's going to move up or down.
Yeah.
If you do it like that. So what I was trying to explain to Mike and Dave, which they know this because I grilled it into Mike when we practice a lot of downhill shots. I was
still sometimes forget to compensate for the arrow drop.
Yeah, that happened today. We're out practicing today, and I was like, dang, I didn't compensate for the downhill shot, because you want to aim a little bit higher because of the angle. But yeah, that's a different podcast. But for this one, you want to aim straight out like you would on a flat range. You want to aim straight out and then hinge your hips. So your hips are going to be the things that move up and down, and not your arms, so that everything stays the same as you're aiming up. That's basically what you want to do on any uphill shot or downhill shot. You want to hinge your hips so it doesn't change your anchor point.
Because the whole point is just keeping like the same shot. Like what I've read and what I've seen, like actual like professional target shooters say, is when you have your shoulders straight at any target, you'll have the same anchor point and your yardage will be the same. But if you move one shoulder up more than the other one, or one down more than the other one,
I could see
it messes up your anchor point, and that one little like couple of like a centimeter or two could be like 5 or 6 yards this way or 5 or 6 yards that way kind of thing. So it could mess it up.
Even though
it'll feel like the same to you, but the way that all the angles and
because everybody just wants to line up the peep with your sight, but it's the peep, the sight, the anchor point, shoulders, how you're holding the bow, how the release. Dude, there's so many different things with like just the releasing of a bow. That's completely insane. And it's the same with shooting a rifle, because for some reason I shoot and I pop my head up because I've watched it in slow motion. I fire, everything's fine, but then I like lift my head. So like my follow through and my rifle shot is not good because I'm not staying in the pocket, basically.
I feel like I do the opposite when I do rifle. Like when I shoot it, I push my head down. Like because I always shoot with my hat, and my hat always slides up after I shoot. And because I rest. I was telling Dave this when we were out scouting this yesterday.
We'll get into that. That'll be a different podcast.
But I always put my hat at a certain point on my scope, so I know that when that point my hat hits, I don't have to adjust my eyes or like move my head around. I just hit that, and I can see straight through. So it's like a fast. If I have to pull up or something, my hat hits it, then I know I'm good with the scope.
Yeah, it's like your anchor point.
Yeah, it's basically like my anchor point.
Because you never go hunting without a hat. There's a reason for that. But
I just do it because I don't want sun in my face.
Exactly. It keeps the sun out of your eyeballs. So the fifth shot was this skunk on the side of this hill, and it was a 45-degree up, and it was a pain in the butt to get to.
Yeah, and it was only like, 25 yards?
Something like that. Yeah, 23 or 25 yards, something.
It was almost top end. It was basically an easy. It was yardage-wise, it was an easy shot, but like the angle of it.
Well, we made it. I mean, it was an easy shot.
Yeah, it was an easy shot for us. Like the guy that we were talking to that set up the target, he said it was a pretty difficult shot. But we're like, that's easy.
So he's actually one of the owners of the Northwest Mountain Challenge.
Oh yeah, the old skinny guy.
Yeah, tall guy. And I was like, he was like, so how'd you do, man? How'd you do? How was that number 5 shot? And I was like, that was a piece of cake. He goes, what? I was like, yeah, man. I think I like 11'd that one. It was either a 10 or 11 for everybody.
Yeah, our whole group. Yeah, we got it pretty good on that one.
Because I actually was going to grab my scorecard and bring it, but I didn't. Because I had. When I went home, I forgot my memory card. We had everything set up here for the podcast, and I was editing some film, and I took the SD card out of the camera and left it at home. I do that a lot.
Yeah,
it's either I don't have it in the podcast,
an editor's rule.
I don't have it in the camera. It happens every time. It's a thing.
Yeah,
but.
That's the reason why I got 3 memory cards for when I go out doing photography.
Dude, I have.
If I forget one, I'll just I got another one. I need to
start having them just in like random, even just having an extra one in my truck or something. Like, got the backup for the backup in the truck.
That's what I do, mainly because if I fill up one, I can use the other one. But if I forget to put it in,
it would be hard for me to fill this one up. Like, I would probably need to be not downloading anything for like 7 days straight with like, I mean, it's a 256 gigs.
Yeah, I got one 256 and a 64. But I take all my photos out raw for when I do photography, so I can edit them if I have to, and those fill up.
Yeah, I shoot everything in raw too, and it makes it better for like editing and
always do raw
grading and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Always do it raw.
That's a whole nother podcast. Filming and shooting photos. We should actually do one. Yeah. We're okay. Yeah, we're gonna do one.
We should do bring what I want to do. Like I'll bring what my stuff that I have for photography. My favorite lenses.
Yeah, and then I'll do one on. I'm not the best filmer, but I say I'm getting better. I think I'm getting a lot better. I think my framing is getting really good. But yeah, and thanks to Sony, because I think this upgrade from the camera that I had, the Sony is actually a really nice camera. It's a good camera to learn on too. So
yeah, Sony's are really good for shooting video.
It was better than the camera that I had. That camera was more for like photos. It did really good photography photos, but for video, it was not the best. Plus, they didn't really make any lenses for it, but whatever. Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. We're talking about the Northwest Mountain Challenge here.
Yep.
And so target 5 was a skunk super side hill shot. And I mean, for us, it was fairly easy. I don't think there was, I'm speaking for myself. There wasn't anything out there that was extremely challenging. I only had one shot that was a 5 that I botched. It was an uphill on a bear. And I dropped my shoulder. Like, I knew the shot was crap. Like, the arrow didn't even make it. And I was like, that's low. Yeah. And it hit fairly low. But for me, that was like the only difficult shot. And you and your brother missed a couple of them, but I don't think it was.
They weren't difficult.
Necessarily the difficulty.
They're the one that I blew up, my first arrow, it was like the shadows. For some odd reason, I thought that there was a body underneath the head for the turkey, but it wasn't. So I just shot where it was. It was in a weird shadowy part of the rocks.
Your mind flipped that turkey around.
Yeah.
I think I edited the video, so
because it was only like 40 something yards. It wasn't like a
this
big
will
distance.
Be out after the Northwest Mountain Challenge video actually releases.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go and watch the Northwest Mountain Challenge video, it'll be on YouTube. So if you're listening to the podcast, it's going to be on YouTube. And if you're watching this, it might pop up on the screen. You can watch that. Yeah, there we go. You can go ahead and watch that. I think Mike, when I was editing, and I almost put it in slow motion a couple times. I want to say your mind flipped it, because where that arrow went is exactly where like the 10 would be on the turkey.
Yeah.
Like I watched it like a million times. I was like, there's no way, man.
That first shot that I shot underneath on that wolf is because we just hiked up that damn mountain, and it was early in the morning.
Oh, the first shot.
Yeah, that shot into the soft dirt.
So Mike and Dave missed the very first shot.
Mine was just like,
I barely missed
something. I barely missed
Dave shot over its back, but I mean, so it's the Northwest Mountain Challenge. It's a challenge, right? Pure elevation is a super challenge because you're just getting up there in elevation and you're just going for it.
Yeah.
And right when we got to target 1, we just started shooting. And
yeah, we didn't rest or anything. We just were like, all right, this is 1.
Well, that, and we kind of had a late morning. No one went to the flat range. We didn't have a warm up.
Oh, no.
So it was just like, we hit the mountain, we went for it, we went. So the very first shot, Mike and Dave, they missed. I mean, it is what it is. That's what happens.
I recovered my arrow.
Yeah. So on the scorecards, they would put like 0, but with an R for like arrow recovery.
Arrow recovery.
And it wasn't broken. Like, it wasn't broken. It was like recovered and still shootable.
Yeah, soft dirt. Nothing was messed up onto it. We like flexed it and everything. And
yeah, I actually thought that was pretty cool. That made me crack up.
Yeah, we've been doing that all week.
That was awesome. So while we were actually doing pure elevation, David Sandana and my buddy Eric and his daughter, they were doing a course too, and I think they did. I don't remember which one they did.
They did Hoyt first. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we all did. That was the second day we did it.
Yeah. So they were shooting that one, and they had a great time too, and that was the first time they all did a Northwest Mountain Challenge. I wish Dave was here to talk about that. Maybe we'll do another podcast with Dave talking about some of the other stuff, but he didn't make it. But
because we did Hoyt after lunch.
Yeah, so we did pure elevation, and to be honest, I freaking shot that thing lights out pretty much. had
you did really good on pure elevation.
I had 1.5, 4 8s, and the rest were 10s or 11s.
Yeah. I was in the 8s, some 10s, some 5s.
You had an 11.
I don't know where I got. What was the 11?
It was so there's this goat. The goat.
The goat with a shot you would never take in real life.
Yeah, because it was just an open sky.
Yeah, it was open sky afterward. But I got that. I got picture proof on that too.
And I'll actually pop that up while we're talking about it. But yeah,
that was a cool shot.
It was different. So this shot that we're talking about, it was on a doll sheep, is what it was. It was a doll sheep, and it's kind of up on this hill, and we're kind of like down in this hole, and really it's like a skyline shot. So it's the shot behind this doll sheep it's just sky. Yeah. So if you missed, I mean, that arrow's, you're sending it.
Yeah,
it's off a cliff. Like
you're taking out a hiker at that point.
Yeah, damn near. Like this. The Yeti.
The Yeti saves the day.
I'm gonna take a drink actually.
Yeah, my mouth gets dry when I do podcasts.
But you're sending one out there, and yeah, if there's anyone hiking out there,
yeah,
you might get hit by an arrow.
You might hear a scream.
But I mean, the shot itself was fairly close. It's like 40 something yards.
Yeah.
But Mike, seriously, so.
Peterson, mobile.
Uh-oh.
What the
I'm
heck?
getting called. Siri's listening.
Oh, it's calling you.
I know.
Let's go ahead and. I don't know what's up with that, but that was good. That was funny.
Yeah.
But Mike, for some reason, so we had another shoot similar to this in Hoodoo in 2022. You guys can watch that one.
Was it 22?
It was in 22, man.
Was it in 21?
It was in 22.
22?
Yeah. It's actually one of our most viewed videos. It's in the top 3 for like most viewed videos. Actually, anything we put out.
Was it 20? Man, time for getting COVID killed time.
It's the blip, dude.
Because I swear. Okay. No, it was 20. This is the
debate right now.
I think it was 20.
2020?
Yeah, because I've done Stevens 3 times now.
No way, dude.
So, and when I did see it was probably 21. I think it was 21.
No way. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I think it was 21 that we did it. Because that would be.
I think it's 22, dude.
Because I did Stevens and I did Stevens without you.
2022.
It was 2022.
Yeah.
Dang.
If I was on OBS right now, I'd be popping this up on the screen, but I'm not. So maybe at a later date. But Mike pinwheeled that one too. So I don't know about these.
I can't hit shots against rocks, but if this clear sky, I can smack it.
Shots against rocks. Okay, we're making a new shirt.
Shots against rocks.
Yep, and it's just gonna be like rocks with a target and like a snapped arrow somewhere. Shots against rocks. Mike's nemesis. I actually did say that on target 3. There's actually some rock features, and I was like, the only thing that Mike hates worse is his nemesis. And I like go to the target, and it's rocks.
Yeah.
It didn't bite him there, but it did bite him on that turkey shot.
Yeah.
What would you say was like the coolest shot at least on pure elevation?
On pure elevation, the coolest shot. I actually like the shot after the top break. You know, when we were at the very top of the mountain and we start kind of like descending back down. Not that one, but the one after that one.
Oh,
that we like kind of like climbed up and shot into like those 2 trees and stuff. We shot
down the hill.
Yeah.
And if you miss, it would go off the cliff again.
Yeah, either in the tree or off into the cliff.
That was another sheep.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's really cool.
That one was cool. And the angle was like, it was way down there, dude. The angle was down there. That was a 44-yard shot or something like that.
Oh, shooting across the little lake thing was pretty cool too.
That was cool. That was a cool shot. It was a deer quartering away, and you shoot over this like little pond puddle thing. I don't
Mosquito nest.
Infested area, yeah. But it was a really cool shot, and on video that shot looks really cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you watched it.
Yeah, I watched you.
Yeah,
I got a sneak preview.
Yeah, Mike got the sneak peek out scouting yesterday. Got to see it because he was like, "Oh, I can't wait for the video," and I was like, "Well, we can just watch it right now." I had service, so he got to watch it. Yeah, and he said it was pretty good. So hopefully everybody else likes it as well. And yeah, so my favorite shot was actually the very last shot.
Oh, the 85
yard in the wind.
Dude, the wind at the end of that, on the other side of that mountain, was freaking horrible.
So we kind of picked up on a little secret on the Northwest Mountain Challenge. I haven't told anybody this. I haven't told you either, but I'm using it for the next time we shoot. On those long shots, they put little ribbons out to show you where the target is.
Did they?
Yep. Trust me, I edited the video.
You're like watching them all. You're like,
so I'm watching all
There's
that.
a ribbon.
Yeah, so I was watching all that. So if you have those long shots across the canyons and there's a ribbon on the other side, guess what you do? You watch the ribbon to see what the wind's doing.
Oh,
so the wind may not be picking up where you're at, but it might be over there. To be honest, it may not change your shot that much. But for this 85 yarder, it was whipping.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can hear it in the camera, but the wind was picking up. And so when Mike was getting ready to shoot, and I didn't really pick it up until like that last shot, really, I was watching the ribbon on the other side. So when you're like, because Mike drew back and he went to shoot it and drew back down because the wind was just crazy. And then he was waiting. And then he was like, I think I'm going to wait. And I was like, no, you need to shoot now. And he was like, he didn't even hesitate because I don't think he would because the wind was still kind of blowing, but he just pulled back and freaking let it go. And it was a good shot.
Yeah.
The wind wasn't blowing down there.
Yeah. I hit foam. Yeah, and it was a small ass little target too.
Yeah. So it's a 85 yard shot and it was windy when we were there. I mean, if there was other people shooting the shoot, it may have not been windy, but the people that were ahead of us, they busted arrows because I heard him. And I was like, oh, that's the sound of broken arrows because everybody's like, oh.
Yeah, and you hear the clink. Oh.
But our group all hit foam. I pinwheeled that thing, got an 11 on that one. I was super excited. And I shot first on that one because we were like, I was like, screw it, I'll do it.
Like I shot last on that one.
Yep. But I mean, we all hit foam on a little javelina. Their javelina is not very big, like for that last shot. I'll pop it up, but it was, I don't know, torso size maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. It wasn't, and it was just fairly small. But I mean, on 85 yards on something that small, and we all hit foam. That's awesome. I mean, that's a good shot, and it was a great time to like end the day and the shoot on everybody connecting on the last shot.
Yeah, confidence builder going into the next courses.
Yeah, and the next course that we did that day was Hoyt.
Yeah.
And what was Hoyt supposedly the easiest course?
Yeah, supposedly the easiest course.
It wasn't hard.
Yeah, it wasn't hard. It was
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. For me, my shoulder was freaking giving out after the day, so.
Yeah, so Hoyt was done, right? Target 15.
Finding peer elevation.
But we are like back in the far back of this mountain, and it's a 2.5 mile hike back to like civilization.
Yeah.
So not only do we go like up and around this mountain, but then it like ends and you have like 2.5 mile hike back to like the lodge, and we're just like, gosh dang.
Yeah, because they couldn't put any targets on there because it was still an open hiking trail for people going to hike, and we saw a few people hiking up it.
Yep. That and the mountain. They at Stevens Pass it's open for mountain bikers as well, so they have to kind of like do the course like a certain way so it doesn't disrupt the regular business for Stevens Pass, which is great.
Because they have three main parts for the mountain bikes to go down, and like the chute was around that.
Yeah.
So,
and it was like that last year too. From what I saw, it was great because everybody's getting along. Like we talked to a hiker, we talked to, mountain bikers down by the lodge and everything. I've had a couple of them come up to me and ask me questions like, I've thought about getting into archery and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, well, if you do, this is a shoot to come to because it is fun. And they're just like, man, it just seems like a great time and blah, blah, blah. And this was like Saturday while we're doing lunch. I was talking to a mountain biker, and
when you were down getting food at lunch, I was like watching this one dude. He was kind of older, but he was really stiff going down like the little hill to the lift. I'm like, dude, that guy's gotta eat it hard. He's like, he needs to loosen up a little bit.
I want to hit Stevens Pass on my mountain bike. Like, I think it looks like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like their flowy trails, like just their green run looks really nice and flowy. I like flowy trails.
I don't mind hitting jumps, but I'm a motocross guy, so jumps are like my thing. But we headed down to lunch, and that kind of ended it for us at Pure Elevation, and then we did Hoyt, and I shot lights out the whole weekend, so Hoyt was easy for me.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun to shoot.
I blew an arrow up at Hoyt just because I was trying to thread the needle.
Which one was that one, though?
It was like the third one. That was like the one that the rock was like right there, and we were trying to do 12s, and the 12 was like right here, and the rock is like right next to it.
So on Hoyt, they actually
it was a 20-yarder, so I'm like, I'm going to freaking thread the needle on this like 14. So I shot it, and it like basically the arrow exploded. I'm like, dang it.
I haven't gone through the video for that one yet. Probably when this comes out, I probably already edited it, but I haven't gone through the video yet on that one. So I have it loaded. I just haven't like gone through it yet.
Yeah, I tried to thread needle on that, and it
I remember that, but I didn't think it was on that course.
Yeah, I was on Hawaii.
Gosh, dang it. So there was one course we didn't shoot, and that was the Mule Deer Foundation course. We did that one last year, and we didn't do Pure Elevation, so we kind of wanted to like switch it up. The Mule Deer Foundation one is, I would call that as like a mini Pure Elevation.
Some people are saying that one's harder than Pure Elevation.
To be honest with you, thinking back last year and doing Pure Elevation this year, Pure Elevation was pretty easy.
Yeah,
like shots wise, but like the hiking and all that is like
Mule Deer
where it kicks your butt.
The shots are really challenging, and
it's a hike.
Yeah, it's like a mini hike. It's not, you don't get as much elevation, but it's steep elevation that you do on Mule Deer.
Oh man. But yeah, shoot, man. Yeah. So that was Pure Elevation, everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to end it with that, because hopefully next time, if we do get David Sandana in, we'll talk about all the other courses. But if not, check out the video on 2024 Pure Elevation, and then we have one that will be all of the other courses, which don't have a name for yet.
All the other courses.
All the other courses.
We could probably do one purely on the Mosquito Fest on Hoyt, but
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We should have had a kill counter going. I don't think I was videoing. Well, I should have had a kill counter because it would have been in the thousands.
Yeah.
I had like
my brother was
8 million mosquito bites.
To the mosquito.
But all right, everybody. Thank you for listening. If you are looking for game calls, you're going to want to go to phelpsgamecalls.com. Check them out. We have a discount code for 10% off. Check that out in the description below. Also, Ghost Scream. Check out ghostscream.com. That is going to get you some sauces and jellies for cooking. We have a discount with them, so go and check that out. That'll be down in the description. CrazyElkCompany.com. We have a discount code for them as well. And if you're looking for a tag wallet or some awesome gear, hats and shirts and stuff like that, check them out. Also, I have just joined the 20 Gear Camouflage Field Staff, and they are actually giving me a discount code for you guys. Check them out, 20gear.com, and save 25% on camo. That's a pretty awesome deal. And that's anytime. So that code will be down in the description as well. And if you're a waterfowl hunter, you want to go out and do some waterfowl hunting, check out the duckcamp.net. And if you book with them, tell them that the Ridgeline Hunting crew sent you. All right, everybody, that is it. Have a good night.